legendary story has heroes and villains. In this game, it can be hard to tell which is which.
I think the fans can expect the unpredictable.
You think by now you'd know the whole story. This is just the beginning. All the history.
Still WrestleMania, you've done something special.
All the legends. This time, right here, is the realest it's ever been. Ever.
WrestleMania is taking over Las Vegas.
Look around. We're everywhere.
The growth of professional wrestling, the institution, it is stunning.
Whatever you say, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's the belt! You brought the belt!
The power of WrestleMania.
Magical time for the WWE right now.
Yes,
a lot
it is.
happening.
It is.
WrestleMania!
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania.
Don't get him in Vegas, man.
Vegas is about to find out how real this can get.
All bets are off now. This is gonna get nasty.
And the stakes quite simply can't get any higher.
You know what I like about legendary stories? Sometimes they're true.
This is my brutality!
Triple threat match. Talk about a big fight.
So tonight, who's it gonna be?
This is what you came for.
Heroes or villains?
All gas, no brakes. Here we go. CM Punk, Seth.
In our tribal chief, the only tribal chief. Main eventing WrestleMania is sacred. Because of me, you're in the main event.
I cannot wait.
And now, WWE presents the Global Entertainment Spectacular, WrestleMania.
Take your time, get your life, let it die.
Hey, this is WWE and ECW alumni, the Blue Meanie, and you're listening to PCW.
The question is, are you ready? Let me talk to you.
I will give you a show like you have never, ever seen before. Why? Because I can.
What do you guys want to talk about?
And the color red in a world full of black and white. I am the eater of worlds. Yeah, to get some acknowledge me. The champ is here. But to be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here. Hey, yo. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to another episode of PCW Podcast Championship Wrestling. I am your host, Wayne, also known as Semi-Dry Chicken, and we are going to cover WrestleMania post-show. We're going to touch lightly on the Hall of Fame. We're going to touch a little bit on NXT Stand and Deliver. But we are going to dig into the results of WrestleMania Night 1 and Night 2. And we are going to chit-chat it up about the Raw after Mania. Why? Because it is way more interesting than what actually happened at WrestleMania. So with that said, let me bring them on out, the co-host. Doyle, what's up, buddy?
Oh, it's me. It's the Doyle. And Rockio, wherefore art thou, Rockio?
Yeah, I did see that there were shirts at the convention center for sale that said the Rock has finally returned to Las Vegas, and my favorite comment on that was, "The fuck he did."
Notable in his absence.
Notable, yeah, exactly. All right, I saved the best theme for last, man. Here we go.
Hey, main event Jay Uso is now in your city. It's just me, okay. Day one, it's just me, Day one, it's just me, okay. Day one, it's Jay. A lot of more love and knock 'em down like this. I did. Hey, it's on me now, Hey, I'ma get 'em all. I'ma get 'em all, Yeah.
Dre.
Yo, what it do, PCW crew? Yo, PCW World Heavy Yeet Champion Main Event Dre Uso is now on your podcast.
This guy finding any way he can to fucking fit the word yeet in there, huh?
Of course, at least once.
That's what yeet's all about, man.
I normally don't have yeet in my intro.
Was it WrestleMania or was it the Raw after? Somebody had a sign that said, I just yeeted.
Just yeeted?
Yeah, I can't remember. It was one of the nights of WrestleMania or it was the Raw after. I can't remember which. But somebody on the hard cam side pretty prominently had a sign that just said, I just yeeted.
Yeah, well, they always talk about it on commentary, how they're going to yeet all over everybody. And it's like, oh, yeah, I was yeeting before I got here.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Yeah, it is weird that yeeting is basically a jizz joke.
And it gives Michael Cole the opportunity to prove that he is the most Caucasian human being that has ever lived.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, man. But he doesn't deal with bullies.
They're like, Michael, you don't look like enough of a dork. Let's try something new. Yeah.
They always find a way to make Michael Cole look even worse. And more of a fucking wiener. All right. Did you guys catch the entire Hall of Fame at all?
I actually did watch that whole damn thing live because for some reason...
Live?
Yeah, I watched it live. Like, I was up the entire 4.5 fucking hours that Friday.
Holy shit, dude.
Mostly because
I did not have to watch it.
Well, mostly because, one, I did not have... It was in the middle of my 3-day weekend, so I didn't have to work the next day. And I was already up at midnight, so I went to bed and I put it on because I was like, I wanted to at least see Lex Luger's part. Because I did want to see his. And then, for some reason, I just wound up being in the bed up for the next fucking 4.5 hours watching that shit.
Yeah, I saw the clip of Lex Luger standing at the beginning of the speech, and that's all I saw. And boy, am I glad that's all I saw. I heard Trips. He talked longer than any match he ever had, and he's been in an Iron Man.
His speech was so fucking long.
7 minutes.
Jesus.
Now listen.
It was over an hour.
I don't need to sit through that. Well, first of all, I need to thank Stephanie and then our beautiful daughters. Yeah, I don't need to hear that for an hour.
Yeah, and it wasn't like everyone. I'll say the thing about his is it wasn't like it was an hour from the start of his whole segment. No, literally just his speech from the moment he got on stage and got on the mic to when he finally shut the hell up and left was over an hour.
But who's gonna
Yeah, I think I saw that he talked for like an hour and 6 minutes or something, and his longest match ever was an hour and 3 minutes or something.
Yeah, that's fucking funny. Yeah, it's like who's gonna tell him to hey, Trips, you gotta wrap it up.
Yeah,
he's
gonna play him off,
right? That's like us at at a business at a meeting at my work. If we're having a plant meeting, my guys, the supervisor's just talking forever and ever. Is like, I'm not gonna tell him to fucking wrap it up. But if I say something, we're on the clock. But I watched the little promo videos, which I thought was cool. I forget what theme song they played for his promo. It was pretty good though. He just spent too much time thanking way too many people. Still the highlight of it.
Who ended up inducting the natural disasters? Because they made a big deal about everybody else's who was inducting them and didn't say. Was it just Typhoon's kid?
That's what I thought it was. It looked like just direct family.
Yeah, that's what I figured it would be.
Oh my god, Michelle McCool's speech. I almost fell asleep. I almost felt. I was like, oh my god. Oh, this is early too. But yeah, after the Hall of Fame, did anybody catch any of NXT Stand and Deliver? No? Anybody? Nope. Okay. I actually caught it. I watched it. It was pretty good. I would go if I were
highlights of the women's championship match, but
yeah. If there's anything to go back and watch the Ricky Saints, wrestle Ethan Page for the North American title. Hank and Tank, what a tag team name! Hank and Tank defeated Fraxium. Yeah. So that was a pretty good match. Go back and watch that. The women's Fatal 4-Way for the NXT Championship. Guys who really enjoyed that match was Booker T. If you may, Booker.
See it. Oh yeah. Obviously.
Booker T. It likes Stephanie's finisher pretty much, and we've seen
Charlotte. It's a cool move, and she looks great, but I don't know that it warrants that type of turning oneself into a frog.
Oh, well, how does it warrant maybe this one?
Oh, baby. Oh, we...
Yeah, that's a little much.
I mean, no, Doyle. This is a little much.
Here we go, baby. One more time.
Yeah, he let that one marinate for me.
Yeah,
I want to let everybody know I did not alter those at all. I was dying because I was like, "Damn, Booker T commentary making me fucking laugh." That's what made I feel like that's what drew my attention more to the fucking TV, seeing what he was fucking doing that over. But I was dying.
He was doing it over somebody who deserved it.
Yeah.
As opposed to somebody else.
In the triple threat.
Who does the same thing.
And he's still less annoying than Pat McAfee.
Yeah. The main event for the NXT title with Trick Williams, Javon Evans, and Oba. This guy's fucking huge. This guy is 310 pounds. He's a big boy, 6'6". So hopefully this man gets built well and we see him on the main roster soon. But he's a big sumbitch.
Oh yeah, Obafemi's got all the main roster star power. Like he can go in the ring. He's good on the mic. He clearly has the presence, built like a brick shit house.
Yeah, his entrance theme music, like it goes well. Like he's built, man.
I kind of don't like the fact that he kind of walks to the beat of it, almost like he's kind of strutting. I kind of wish he would be a little bit more serious about when he walks and just be more, stone faced with it. Yeah, but that's a minor nitpick.
Right. That's something that as a character he can develop, I guess. But yeah, dude. Straight to the moon with that fucking guy.
That's the one match I did not see on this PLE though. By that point I went to go to the gym because I wanted to stick around to at least see the women's match. And every match on that show, on that card that I saw, cooked. Mm-hmm. The tag team match, was probably the best tag team match of the entire weekend between NXT and both nights of WrestleMania. That tag title match was a great match. The women's triple threat cooked. Hell, every triple threat this weekend cooked, honestly.
Sure.
Right, the one thing you could say about this weekend, this was the weekend of the triple threat matches.
Well, multi-man matches in general. I mean, the four-way for the IC title was pretty good, too.
Yep. Yeah, even the ladder match for the women's North American title was pretty damn good as well.
Right, just getting everybody on that card today, or for that payday. Yeah. All right, let's get this ball rolling. We got a lot of shit to cover, and let's get right into night one. Dre, you wanna take over for night one?
Yep. We can take over night one with an alleged, and I stress the word alleged, attendance of, what did they say, 60-something thousand night one?
I think that's 61.
Yeah. I'm seeing reported numbers of 57,000. So,
well, what they're doing is they're counting all the, production assistants and the people selling popcorn and
probably.
Yeah, and I mean, there's going to be hundreds, if not thousands, of them.
Yeah, 61,000 people at the stadium.
Cleaning bathrooms, they count. If you were there with a pulse, they counted you. Right. They counted pregnant ladies as 2 people.
Right. 61,000 people at the Allegiant Stadium. 57,000 paid for tickets.
Yeah.
So somewhere in the middle. But either way, night one kicked off with Gunther defending his World Heavyweight Championship against main event Jey Uso, which saw, to my surprise, Gunther tap the fuck out.
Dude.
Yeah, that was. I mean, I think we all picked Jey to win, right? And but I don't know that anybody picked Gunther to tap. And it, just how fast he tapped too was kind of crazy to me. I thought they would at least do the, he almost gets to the ropes and then Jey pulls him back and then he almost gets to the ropes. Something prolonged.
That was my one gripe with the match.
5 seconds, boom, he's tapped. Seemed very un-Gunther like.
Yeah, that was my one gripe with the match. Overall, I thought it was a really good match. I thought it was great storytelling as far as Gunther being dominant, but still couldn't completely dominate Jey Uso because Jey had pretty much switched up his game, even playing a little bit with the audience and the fact that, Jey only has 4 moves. Jey can't do this or that. And you saw Jey pulling out all kinds of moves in this match that he normally doesn't do.
Yeah, and I was glad it didn't turn into a chop versus super kick.
A chop and super kick fest. Yeah, because I think I mentioned that, whoever bet the over on Jay's super kicks was mad as a motherfucker because he only did 2 in the whole match.
Yeah.
Whereas Gunther was kind of more reduced to his usual repertoire of moves where, anytime Jey got some offense, Gunther hit him with a chop. His typical T-Rex drop kick, his power bomb.
When he was sitting on the top rope and he chopped him and he fell to the floor, that was a good spot.
Yeah, that one was pretty gnarly. But overall, the match exceeded my expectations. Again, my only gripe with it is that the when he put him in the sleeper, Gunther tapped too fast.
It wouldn't have bothered me if after he hit what did he hit, 2 or 3 Uso splashes?
Yeah.
If he just pinned him there, that would have been a fine ending, I thought. And a prolonged sequence of him, because Jay's not like a submission expert or anything. It's just so odd that he choked him out immediately.
Expert. Like that.
But
some moves he pulled out of his repertoire that he never uses.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so that's why it's so surprising that he tapped out so quickly to that.
Yeah, I think that would have built up the finish a little bit more if he'd have really cinched it in and had Gunther there struggling, and you could
or Gunther passes out in the sleep, or
something like, maybe if you want to protect Gunther, like he passes out. But I would have been okay with Gunther tapping if they'd have drawn it out a little bit more, like you said.
Yeah, exactly.
Have Gunther struggle, try to get to the ropes, and Jay is just so. He putting everything he has into it. They play up the emotion of it all. Like Jay has this look on her face, like, I'm getting you back for what you did to my brother. The way you put my brother in this move, feel what it feels like. And he's just wrenching on him until Gunther finally taps. I think that would have really, put a nice bow on this on what was otherwise a really good match.
But you knew we were in trouble when for the weekend. When during the entrance, when there's all the announcers are yeeting and whatever, did you see one of the Spanish announcers knocked the other one's headphones off yeeting?
Yeah.
And then when they were introducing Jay, it said challengers with an S, not challenger.
Now I didn't understand.
Like, I was in for a botch-filled weekend, and boy, were we!
Right. Not only was I surprised that Jay got the win, he got the win submission, and the fact that they used Jay and Gunther to open the show. Main event, Jey Uso is still not main event. I mean,
if they're not going to put you on last, going on first is often, they say, the second best spot on the card, right, especially on a big one like this.
I never would expect such a huge win for somebody like Jay would be, in the opening card. But this is definitely different than what we're used to. This WrestleMania felt very different, and this is, besides last year, this is the full-fledged storylines played out for Triple H. I mean, this is Triple H's era. We're no longer getting Vince stuff. Or maybe we're just so used to and catered by what we expect from Vince would never allow this. Vince would never allow another wrestler from another company on the biggest, grandest stage of them all. Never. So I'm shocked by a lot of results on this card in general. But the way that ended, very shocked.
I mean, I would have preferred, for me, if it had main evented night one, but I understand why, given the level of star power that they had, obviously, in the triple threat match. But even then,
and I mean, that match delivered.
It absolutely did.
If they went out and laid a fucking egg, I think there's a legitimate gripe there. Why not put one of a couple matches in that slot instead? But
but in the absence of that,
more than delivered.
It absolutely 100% did. Obviously, in the absence of that, though, I probably would have at least made it the penultimate match, just so that the fact that you won the Royal Rumble and the fact that this is a world title match can still carry some weight. I still feel like putting it on at the very beginning to kick off WrestleMania. Yes, you get the hype moment of obviously kicking off WrestleMania with Jey Uso's entrance and the title win, but I still feel like it kind of diminished both the Royal Rumble win and the World Heavyweight Championship, the fact that it started WrestleMania. I would have made it the second to last match of night one, but that's neither here nor there. So obviously our champion, main event, Jey Uso, and I did get a little misty eyed when Jimmy met him in the ring.
Yeah, that was a good moment.
Celebrate. Yeah, that was a beautiful moment.
Yep, absolutely.
So, second match. War Raiders, Eric and Ivar defending their World Tag Team Championship against the New Day, Kofi and Xavier. Why the fuck this match was on WrestleMania, I don't know. Because there was nothing about this. There was nothing about this match that could not have happened on Raw. It's like we needed a tag title match, and they decided for this one. Kofi and Xavier cheated, got the win. They're the new World Tag Team Champions. Cool. But as a match, there was really nothing about this match that said WrestleMania, in my opinion.
No, dude, not at all.
Yeah, I can agree with you.
This would have been cool on just Monday Night Raw. I would have been content with.
Yeah, actually, a lot of production errors. During one, I can't remember whose entrance, either New Day's or the War Raiders. Right. They went to a wide shot, and you could see people like, you know how like sometimes in a late football game, like, you know, the home team, if the home team's driving and they fumble with, you know, and there's 30 seconds left and the game is essentially over, and you just see the people pouring out. Like that's what was happening. Like so many empty seats and people actively walking away from this match. It's just like, whoa. Like,
yeah, it was not a good look. For
maybe not a great idea to throw to the wide shot of the crowd right then.
Hell no. And their second match is an early bathroom break match.
Yeah, that's not a good sign.
Not a good sign at all.
Nope.
Yeah, no, I mean, this was just a video game commercial, really. That's why it was on pay-per-view. Because I keep on the Viking Raiders. The War Raiders look like the guys from that video game. And they could dress them up. And they look like they got they didn't even place in a cosplay contest.
Yeah, like no, not really.
They looked fucking ridiculous.
The Viking Raiders outfits?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought we were watching How to Train Your Dragon with the goofiness.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah. And that's almost, it makes you given that was the case and that's how they looked and all that, it makes you feel like that this was a business decision to put this match on the show.
Oh, 100%.
Compared to, especially when you compare it to what the SmackDown tag division is doing and how they've been the ones cooking for the last couple of months and how they're about to have a freaking TLC match for their titles.
Yeah, why couldn't that have been on
that wasn't on WrestleMania?
Yeah.
But instead, because some video game company ponied up enough cash, we gonna shoehorn this little bullshit in here.
And there was so much of that. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, obviously it's been getting a little worse and a little worse, but this one just seemed like a big escalation. So much shit on the mat. Not just the one logo in the middle. There was like a dozen of them. And every fucking turnbuckle had a different logo on it. It's just like, Jesus.
If there's a running theme if there's a theme for this WrestleMania or something that's going to be part of this WrestleMania's legacy, I think it's definitely going to be this is the WrestleMania that where WWE put money above the show.
Yes.
There's a lot of aspects of this felt like money decisions versus good of the show decisions. From the ticketing prices to the way they laid out all this extra stuff for the weekend. So a lot of it just, we're making money. More. Man, we're setting records. More. And
yeah, great. You just gave us a so-so WrestleMania. Like, very good, very nice that you are all stuffing your pockets. That's all well and good. You know, but it's like, I don't want to hear about that when you just gave me this dog shit main event. You know, I don't want to hear about how many bonuses Triple H is going to be able to get this year. You know,
exactly.
Yeah. And did anyone watch the WrestleMania 9 documentary, which I highly recommend? It was very interesting. But like, they make a big point about like, we wanted to make sure we always had a $25 ticket. You know, and it was like you couldn't get an obstructed view seat for under $200.
Oh my God, no, not
You couldn't. Not. You probably couldn't park at that fucking stadium for $25.
You know, it's just like
true, dude.
It's at a certain point, it's gonna get where
Yeah, weren't like the floor seats for WrestleMania 9 like just $400?
Something like that, yeah.
Like the most expensive. Like I don't think there was a single seat that was over $1,000 for WrestleMania 9.
I don't think there was a seat over 500.
And now you can't even get in the fucking building for less than that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, inflation, one thing, sure. Growth of the business, sure. I mean, the massive, growth of the event itself, sure.
At WrestleMania 9, which took place in 1993, the price of a ticket was $25. Wow, that's just like common Google knowledge, I guess. Tough. Man, poor
and it's like in the documentary, like the cheapest seats were $25.
Oh.
They made us. I forgot who it was that was somebody. I guess logistics or whatever said. Actually made the comment that they wanted to actively make a point to have $25 tickets. In other words, it was a point that they wanted to make that show affordable to anyone.
Here's this. I have the screenshot. So if you wanted to sit ringside, WrestleMania 9, $250. That's the most expensive ticket.
That's crazy.
Where we sat, kind of roughly like where we sat, far back and whatever, we would have been $50 to $25. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's crazy. Yeah, I guess you think twice when you're paying that much money now, and then you're getting like the New Day versus the War Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so moving on, the next match was Jade Cargill versus Naomi, which was a good match. Also the first ever single non-title women's match without a gimmick in WrestleMania history. Kind of wild that it took all the way up to 41, but again, we mentioned that in the pre-show.
Yeah.
But the match itself was a really good match. Like, Naomi was, storyline part aspects of it aside, Naomi was a good opponent for Jade Cargill to be pitted against at WrestleMania. Because she has that veteran experience, and Naomi can work with anybody in the ring. And she sold her ass off for Jade Cargill and made her look like $1 million, while also not completely diminishing herself. Like, she got her offense in, she showed her repertoire of moves, and the whole match looked good. And Jade hit that gnarly freaking power bomb on Naomi at the end. She powered her up on her shoulders and then tossed her, spun around, and drilled her ass. Yeah.
Yeah, I mostly agree with you. If they hadn't had Naomi cheat to win and they had Jade win, which is what they did, I wish it had maybe been a little shorter, a little more Jade dominant.
Right.
And yeah, that powerbomb was sick. And she does the moves well. It's the getting from one move to the next move that's her problem. Everything still looks so deliberate. Like it's not second nature to her. Maybe it never will be. I don't know. But a lot of the really good ones I consider really good in the ring, it looks like they're not even thinking about it. They're just doing it. And her, it looks like she's like saying, okay, now I need to move 5 feet to my left and wait for Naomi to grab my left arm. And, it looks like the wheels are really slow to turn for her. And I hope she gets it because, nobody looks like her. She looks great. Unfortunately, plagued by wardrobe malfunctions throughout the whole match. Yeah, but it's just she has the charisma and everything, but it's just like she does the moves well. It's just getting from move 1 to move 2 to move 3 that I think is her problem still.
I get what you're saying. Yeah, stringing it together and making it feel like a natural wrestling match as opposed to practice where you're going this move to the next move. Something like that I think will only come with time.
Yeah, she caught Naomi coming off the top rope twice, but the second time she had to awkward. I don't know if she was early or if Naomi was late or a little bit of both, but she stood there like hunched over for what seemed like forever, waiting for Naomi to come. And it just little things like that and it's just a couple seconds here and there, really, you know. But it just stands out, you know, especially, especially when you've got all these other matches that people aren't, you know, even in the New Day War Raider match, like I didn't think anybody was having to think about what they were doing; they were just doing it, you know.
That is very true. That is true, very true. But I will say, to a certain extent, in Jade's defense, she's not the only one that I see that from. There are a number of women on the roster where you can see that at points in certain matches, where you can see them like going through the step-by-step process of this. That may just be a limitation.
I guess I shouldn't specifically pick on Jade. She's not the only person that I have this criticism of. Sure, you're not wrong.
Yeah, I think it may just be a limitation of the women's division or just some of the talent that's there, where you know maybe they don't quite have the same number of years in it, like some of the older vets that can pull that stuff off seamlessly, like a Bailey or a Becky, or you know, there are very few who I see that are relatively young and can seem to do that seamlessly. Maybe like Tiffany Stratton's probably one. Bianca can do it for her relatively few years of experience. You know, I think Roxanne Perez, can do that. But other than that, I think a lot of them do that. Jade does seem to stick out a little bit more. Maybe it's because she's in such a prominent featured position.
Yeah, that certainly could be it too.
Mm-hmm. But and also, I think it is partially her lack of experience as well. I do hope, like you said, with time, I think she'll get better at that and learn how to thread moments together a little bit better.
I hope so, because I mean, like, you figure she ought to be, or at least based purely on how she looks, ought to be in the world title picture, right? But I can't picture her having a decent enough match for me to believably think that she could beat even Io. You know, even being as physically more imposing than Io is. You know,
I mean, well, that's why Naomi was the.
I wonder if it's just a matter of kind of changing her style a little bit, and maybe trying to make her more of a like brawler type. I wonder if that would, kind of limiting the moveset. Doesn't have to be that fancy. Look at Gunther; he's just ground and pound, and he's he doesn't do anything super crazy. I don't know what the fix is with her.
That could potentially help. I think a lot of people look at her and see her physique and just automatically assume power game. And that's kind of what they've billed her as. So she seemingly has to pull off these power moves all the time.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think Naomi was a great choice, though, especially for her first singles match at WrestleMania. I was kind of hoping for like a bigger entrance, kind of hoping for some snow from the ceiling. But we didn't get none of that. Right.
Nope,
Well, Jade's entrance was fucking cringy.
Was that Jim Cantori from Weather Channel? I thought I heard somebody mention that. I don't know if it really was him or if it was just some random Vegas reporter, because when I was watching, I thought they had gone...
What the fuck is this?
Yeah, I thought they had gone to commercials, so my back was turned to the TV, and I'm just hearing somebody talking about weather, so I'm like, okay, this must be some commercial. Then all of a sudden I hear Jade's entrance, a storm is coming. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? And I look back and I see that bullshit that they had. And I'm like, oh, that was supposed to be part of her. Oh my God.
I'm glad they switched up Naomi's.
Having insurance isn't.
Oops.
Yeah. That was a wise choice.
The thing wasn't working for a heel.
Hell no.
Right. Yeah, still, good match for her. I think she did all right. Doyle, now that you point out some of those things with the way she wrestles, I'm going to be looking for it, and it's going to probably bother me shit out of me now. I guess I don't look at her like that. I just look at her this big powerhouse girl and just has this different style. Maybe it's the style that they had over in AEW, and she's just not quite used to it here. Whatever it is.
Yeah, there was a specific move. She did like a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker to Naomi. Right. And it's just like, she was setting up for it just like way too early. If that makes any sense,
right.
Like I think she did an Irish whip and waited for it, but she's sitting there like with her body contorted, waiting for the move instead of like waiting until Naomi's like a step away and then kind of doing it in one fluid motion. I don't know. I hope I'm describing this.
No, what you described makes sense because it tells you that the move is coming. Like if she throws her into the rope and then contorts herself like she's waiting to catch Naomi.
Yeah,
it looks awkward.
I hate it when they do that.
You throwing the person into the rope, and maybe like a normal wrestler would throw them into the rope, let them come back, and then when they're close, then grab them and put them into the move so that it flows more naturally. Versus you sitting there cocked to the side, like arm up here, left arm this way, right arm down here,
exactly
this way. She naturally runs into position and now execute the move. Then it doesn't look natural.
And she did the move very well. I'm not,
No, I hate when people wait for moves. And it's too obvious.
It's a little too much of the sausage making process.
Right. You know who's done that recently? Austin Theory and Grayson Waller have been doing it with chair shots. They bend over way too early and they like stand there and wait and then get the chair shot. And it's been driving me nuts because they do it every fucking time. But yeah,
and they get hit with chairs a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's what happens when you can't crack somebody in the dome no more. Back in the day, you used to be able to set up a headshot a lot better because all you had to do was just turn your back to the person, turn around, boom, headshot. When all chair shots have to be on the back, I mean, if somebody's supposed to deliver the chair shot at a certain time and say that person who's delivering the shot is late, what are you left to do? Oh my God, I'm struggling to get up. Hang here. Oh, I got hit. Like. I think that's part of it. I think it's just a problem with back chair shots. Period. There's only two ways you can take them: either hunched over or standing up, slightly hunched over. Mm-hmm. There's no way. It's hard to make that look natural.
Speaking of somebody who's not fucking natural, let's talk about Jacob Fatu.
Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, let's talk about Jacob Fatu and the next match.
L.A. Knight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In the U.S. Championship match, which saw L.A. Knight lose again his United States Championship. That motherfucker can't keep this damn title for shit. They are so committed to keeping him champion, and then they put the belts on him, and it's like they remember, oh, that's right, this shit didn't work. Get it off him.
Well, I mean, think about it. He's held it multiple times already, and he's only he got it.
He's
last
a two-time
year at
champion
WrestleMania.
already.
Yeah, but he
won it off Logan Paul, lost it to Shinsuke Nakamura, won it back off Shinsuke Nakamura, and now has lost it to Jacob Fatu.
He racked up those accolades right now. Now he's... But yeah, you're absolutely right. This man cannot hold on to that United States title. It is the soap that he cannot grasp. He keeps dropping it. And fucking now... You know what, though? Like, I guess if we had to have one of the two titles, the mid-card titles, swapping hands... Currently, I think it would be the United States. I like the IC having like a longer, healthier run. You know, after Gunther, that's how I see the IC title having longer runs. But anyway,
but either belt can have a long run if they just put it on the right person. Like I don't think Jacob Fatu is going to be dropping this belt anytime soon. Or at least he shouldn't be.
I agree, man. I think we all kind of saw this happen in the squash of Jacob Fatu, squashing, LA Knight here. But I'm happy with the result as much as I like LA Knight. So, over Jacob Fatu. Like, this man is going straight to the fucking top. Like I said, let this man have a long title run with this United States Championship. Let him bring back the inaugural Open Challenge match every week. Just see him squashing motherfuckers. That's what I want to see. I want to see him out there running his mouth. Who's next? Just every week somebody else comes out and just gets fucking squashed. Do it. Don't care who. You don't need the bloodline involved. You don't need Solo there. You don't need, people keep getting injured anyway from the bloodline. But we don't, you don't even need him involved. This is something he can do on his own. On his own. Oos.
Yeah, he really, speaking of Solo, Jacob Fatu really fucking stole his lunch, huh?
Right.
Just like this was supposed to be what Solo was going to be, right?
Yeah.
But Jacob Fatu's just, I mean, this match over-delivered in spades, I thought. I can't remember enjoying an LA Knight match as much as I enjoyed this one. He hit all his jump up. I've often complained about his inability to hit those moves where he's jumping up to the top rope, but I think he did it 2 or 3 times and nailed it each time. That one moonsault into the
BFT.
Yeah, I mean they as Michael Cole would say, didn't get all of it, but I think the camera work actually covered it up well enough.
I was just about to say, the camera saved that one because I've seen it from other angles and
the crowd popped. So I mean, live it must have looked pretty good,
right?
But I mean, Jacob Fatu, undeniable. I mean, it's kind of not in a different way than Jay, but it's just like you have to, you can't not put this title on him at this like right now, because it's just undeniable. I don't know how they're going to keep him as a fucking heel if that's what they're going to do, because it just seems like the crowd really, really wants to cheer for him.
That's the thing. I don't think they're going to keep him as a heel.
Yeah.
He still has unfinished bloodline business. It hasn't been prime. It's been just touched on briefly in the lead up to WrestleMania. Obviously, dissension between him and Solo, and now with Tama Tonga injured as well. Only thing that's left is really Solo and Jacob, and that's probably might be a good thing because then it can just be them two one-on-one and sort out their differences. And whatever it is, that's how they're going to get Jacob Fatu turning face. Is he's eventually just he's gonna be the one to break away from Solo, and Solo won't have anybody else to help him beat down Jacob Fatu week in and week out. And if they play it right, that can work to Solo's advantage. Maybe that can help build Solo back up, as opposed
to be Solo.
Huh?
Would you describe him as Solo in this scenario?
In a manner of speaking. But if he can sit there and go toe to toe with Jacob by himself and be the one, really giving Jacob a run for the money by himself, that can maybe help Solo look like what he was when he first debuted, back when he was just the silent guy with the thumb, and he had that presence about him. Because that's really what kind of hurt Solo more than anything. He started talking.
Yeah, right.
When he was just quiet with the hoodie and the thumb and laying motherfuckers down, everybody thought Solo was that dude. Everybody thought he was a beast. Then he started talking, and we realized that puberty never kicked in for his vocal cords. And he ain't have the same aura like Jay or Roman or the same mic skills as Jimmy. And that's when it kind of fell apart for him. But if he can at least go back to being that beast dude in the ring, and he's out there, giving Solo that work, maybe even take the title off him one time before Jacob wins it back or something like that. That can maybe help rehabilitate Solo a bit.
Yeah. I mean, pretty fucking Doyle, you're right though. Clean with all the moves. I'm watching LA Knight go off the top rope, and I'm watching Solo do the moonsault he does, like just clean. It's great.
Yeah.
And, what a great stage to do it on, because we've seen LA Knight too, especially fucking up on stuff time after time again. We're just like, if you can't do it, stop doing it. Well, you're lucky, man. You did it here.
So. Yeah, I don't know when it became such a trend to get a mask made for WrestleMania and come wear it for 10 seconds and then take it off at the beginning. But Jacob Fatu's werewolf mask was pretty fucking cool. Apparently, as all of these masks are made by the guy that was doing the Bray Wyatt masks. But I thought that werewolf mask was kind of. It's just like if you're gonna get it made, keep it on a little longer at least. Like they come out with these masks and they wear them for 5 seconds and they take it off immediately. It's like, what the hell was the
Doyle, I was thinking the same thing.
At least wear it to the ring.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Dom did it too. Dom does it.
Dom did it. Rhea did it.
It's who else?
Cody did it.
Cody
did it. Fenix had a mask on top of his mask.
Especially Cody. Cody had like this fucking Iron Man type fucking Oh, we'll get to that later. This fucking guy. Anyway, I wanted to bring up, like, I know I should have brought this up in the beginning, but did you guys know that green shirt guy got his own fucking entrance?
Yep.
Apparently,
the fuck?
Those did.
Because I'm rewatching it now and I'm just seeing green shirt guy. I'm just like thinking about it. I'm like, what the fuck, man? How much money do you have to pay to get your own fucking entrance? What the hell? With Wade Barrett or whoever he came out with.
And why the hell did he get his own entrance but not Trinidad Flag guy?
Really?
Well, he may have. He's just not as recognizable, so nobody cared. I don't know, did Vlad get his own entrance? I don't think I even saw Vlad.
That I don't know.
I don't think I saw Vladimir. I think I saw people posting pictures with him though, so it must have been there. I don't know.
I'm sure he
Green
was.
Green shirt guy has like a cousin who's like a producer or something.
I heard rumor that he, like through a Reddit post, that he's related to one of the referees. But
okay, there you go. That could be it.
I believe anything I read on the internet, so I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's usually true.
I want somebody to get an interview with him. I think that'd be cool. Like, how has nobody gotten their hands on this guy for a fucking interview?
I'm sure that somebody's got an interview out there if you look hard enough. I just don't think anybody cares enough about green shirt guy to search. I feel like maybe I did see something.
Fucking documentary about Vladimir.
I just want to know what the fuck green shirt guy does for a living to attend all this shit. Like, even if he's related to somebody in WWE, they're not breaking him off free tickets every damn week. Ain't no way, especially not no WrestleMania or nothing. Maybe every once in a while, your cousin who's the referee can hit you up with a ticket, maybe in a small town venue or something like that. But front row every week, nah, he coming out pocket for that and travel expenses and all that. What cushy ass work from home job does he have?
Anyway, what I forgot where we were. Oh yeah, Jacob.
We're on to the next match, which was supposed to have been Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. But instead, due to a last-minute injury, legit injury to Rey Mysterio, apparently tore his groin muscle or injured a groin injury of some sort.
That's gotta hurt. I don't care where you're from.
Yeah. Rey Mysterio was replaced with Rey Fenix. And in this match, which was relatively short,
right,
but still good.
Oh, this was so much. This was the most fun thing on the whole weekend by far.
Yeah, it was a great match. Like Rey Fenix showed out.
It was kind of devoid of fun outside of this. Like there really wasn't a whole. There's some goofy backstage segment. Anything. There was nothing.
Mm-hmm.
This was the only fun all weekend.
Yeah, that's true. Dude, oh my god, like, on Raw this week, the video package of him, like being Mexico's, like, greatest, like, hero or whatever, like, the people, just the AI, what you can do with AI now. I was dying, the video package that they showed, just him, like, digitally being put in, like, these famous events, and, like, this crowd's, like, surrounding him, like, flags, and, like, oh, I love it. How about Rey Fenix, dude? This guy just recently signed with WWE, right?
This was like third match.
Third match, yeah, on the WrestleMania card. You know, I mean, his brother got. Are they really brothers? Him and Penta?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know too much about these guys from AEW. I assume that's where they came from, right?
Yep.
AEW Ring of Honor.
Via AAA, I think.
Oh, okay. But yeah,
and other places they were in Lucha Underground. They've been all over the place.
Yeah, just WWE's just the last stop.
Their latest stop. Yeah, I mean, before this they were last in AEW, and it was a whole saga with them getting out. And Rey Fenix was supposed to leave AEW around the same time as Penta, and they were both supposed to come to WWE together, but Rey Fenix was injured, so Tony added more time onto his contract and wouldn't let him leave around the same time, and it was whole little pettiness and back and forth and yada yada, and they eventually finally worked it out. And the second he was out of AEW, he was on the next thing, smoking to Connecticut.
Well, it worked out good, I think, because if they had gone at the same time, they would have been a tag team, which would have been fun. Don't get me wrong, but for them, I think what they probably want, at least for a little while, is to be singles. And I don't think, I'm sure that they would have turned them into the Lucha Brothers and stuck them in the tag ranks, which would have been fine.
That is true. That was probably the original plan, was to bring them in as the Lucha Brothers. But this did, wind up working to both of their benefits.
Yeah. And I mean, that's always there. You can always do that if whenever you want. I'm sure they will.
And when they do it, it's going to be a major thing. It's going to get a huge pop. They now have this one extra special thing that in their bag that they can pull out when they want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Because you know what? Now you got somebody like me who has not seen them on AEW. So, these guys are new to me. And the way they're being built separately, I kind of rather enjoy it. I enjoyed this match. Dude. I mean, it wasn't just the whole gimmick of El Grande Americano. It was, the whole match was really well. Like, El Grande, he's a fucking great wrestler. And for
commentary was spectacular.
And for Rey Fenix being put in at the last minute and being able to pull off a pretty damn good match, I was like, I kind of like this better than I probably would have gotten with Rey Mysterio.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So I was pretty happy with the result I got.
I think I said in the pre-show that him and Rey would have had to been some sort of shenanigans or something else involved to make it really worthwhile.
Yeah,
because Rey is pretty much a paint by numbers at this point in his career.
Yeah, and there's a lot of spots in this that it's just fucking great. Definitely a different style of wrestling we don't normally see from him. And you know what? This story. Oh, I got a motorcycle going by my house. Wonderful. The storyline isn't over. Like, it's just, I love it how he didn't get unmasked like we all thought he was going to. The most obvious, right? We thought he was, but he fucking didn't.
He didn't get he actually won over Rey Fenix.
He won!
That surprised me.
The end of
I did not see that coming. Right? Like, the man hasn't been unmasked. He gets the win, and it continues. I mean, it's like, hey, strike with the iron's hot. Like, let's not unmask him yet. People are still enjoying this. And you know what? Like, the video package I got this week on Raw confirms it. I still fucking love this gimmick, and I want it to go for a little bit longer.
Like his entrance was great with the mariachis, and the sepia.
They even say he's from the Gulf of America.
Yeah, but which they apparently changed last week, and then they tried to. Then they're like, oh well, when he was born, it was called the Gulf of Mexico. So that's a. But McAfee got a laugh out of me even because when they were talking about he's got the same tattoo as Chad Gable, and he was like, a lot of people have that tattoo. Why? Just last week I was thinking about getting one. I was like, that's the funniest thing Pat McAfee's ever said. Good for him. I did have during the pre-show I pitched an idea where he puts the medal in his mask and Rey goes to 69 and whoa, that's a whole different match.
WWE After Dark
goes to 619 him and hurts his knee or whatever because of the medal. They pretty much ran that spot, but with a kick or whatever, and he hurt his foot. I was like, I think that's my spot. I think they just changed it.
And it probably was planned for 619 had it been Rey.
Yeah. So I was proud of myself for that.
Yeah.
Just wanted to add.
Definitely a good match. they made the best out of what they had to deal with in that situation. So good match, and yeah, we get to see how much longer El Grande Americano and how long the storyline goes for. But moving on to the penultimate match of night one, we had Cat Fight 2025 between Tiffany Stratton defending her WWE Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair. Boy, you want to talk about some brutality in this match, and I don't mean that necessarily in a good way.
There were some.
This wasn't necessarily some
moves.
power bombing slobber knocker of just moves this, that, a third. But Charlotte, as has been talked about online pretty much since this match, she seemed to be working Tiffany stiff as fuck.
And it looked like she was sandbagging her a little bit, especially at the end.
I think I commented that like Tiffany Stratton was selling her ass off for Charlotte Flair, but Charlotte was not returning the favor.
No.
And every time
Tiffany sold the shit out of that natural selection off the top rope that kind of botched,
and it didn't even hit.
Sold it like she got hit by a nuke.
Right.
And,
Charlotte did anything to Tiffany. Tiffany was laid out like she got mollywopped.
Yeah.
And Tiffany would try to get a little bit of offense in.
Michael Cole couldn't even cover with the I don't know if they got all of that one.
Right.
Because she was just like dead.
And anytime Tiffany never seemed to be able to string together more than like two moves of offense before Charlotte shut it down.
Yeah.
It seemed like to be the whole story of this match. Like this was, it wasn't that it was a bad match. It just did not leave a good taste in my mouth afterwards.
Yeah. It was just ugly. Tiffany was beat up after her hair was all messed up. She had a big knot on her forehead.
It was
still kind of unclear what was going on with her teeth. Her mouth was bleeding.
Right.
She looked like wrestlers ought to look like after a match, actually.
She looked like she lost.
Yeah.
Even though she surprisingly won.
Mm-hmm.
But she looked like Charlotte beat the shit out of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty stiff, man, and you could tell, just the words that were being exchanged, the looks, the style was vastly different. It's like these women are here for a fucking paycheck, and they do not like each other. I will say, I really liked Tiffy's entrance. She said, back in NXT, like this is like the dream entrance she wanted, like the Barbie, the buff Barbie.
I hate the champion going first. Hate it. But I get they had to set up the boxes and I get it.
I mean, I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. And I'm a Charlotte Flair fan, so she got a lot of heat during this fucking match. I would have been content if Charlotte would have won this match. I know a lot of people don't like that, but I would have been content. Just another championship title run for her. I was very surprised. I definitely thought Charlotte was leaving with it. And not just because I'm a fucking mark. I just thought...
I think everybody thought Charlotte was going to win.
Yeah, and you know what? I like the change. But yeah, you're right,
Doyle. It almost makes you wonder if they changed their mind.
Yeah.
It almost makes you wonder, was the original plan for Charlotte to win? And did they change their mind either A, because fans turned on Charlotte and started booing her?
Yeah.
Or was the original plan for, Charlotte to have this return babyface run into WrestleMania and then emerge victorious as champion? And then because fans turned on her and she turned heel, they decided to pivot and let Tiffy go over? Or did they decide against Charlotte winning because of how nasty this feud seemingly got? I mean, it kind of a stretch maybe to think that they would punish somebody the caliber of Charlotte Flair like that. But I kind of can't rule it out given how this feud has played out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I'm no Charlotte Flair apologist, but I mean, she wasn't in WrestleMania 40. She was injured still. But WrestleMania 39, she put Rhea over. So it's not like it's not like she never puts anybody over, especially on big stage.
Not.
She does.
Sure, certainly. I'm not saying that Charlotte's the type that doesn't do that, because, like you said, yes, she did very much put Rhea Ripley over in 39, but it felt like 39.
But that was a smoother transition, I think.
A much smoother transition, and it felt like Rhea at 39 was way more over and more primed for that championship than Tiffy was now, even though Tiffy's already the champion. But it seems like Tiffany's popular. But was she as popular now as Rhea was going into 39? That I don't necessarily know. It felt like all the momentum was behind Rhea going into 39. This one, I didn't feel the same. I didn't feel like there was momentum behind Tiffy, or she's that, on that meteoric rise or anything like that. It's like she's here, she's popular, she's won the fans over, she's solidly a babyface right now. But I don't know.
Man, I just watching this match with like no volume at all. You can just see the fucking
If you do that, you can't hear them calling the spots.
Yeah, that too.
Right.
You can't hear them calling the spots, but you can just tell by the body language.
If you listen to this match with headphones, you can hear a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I did like my favorite comment. I think I mentioned it with Tiffany Stratton, was it's chippy time. It's because we were a chipped tooth. Yeah, I was trying to look for where it happened. It could have been anywhere because she looks like she got hit in the face a couple times.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think her teeth got chipped. I think it was some sort of stain or something.
I thought it was a veneer that may have came off, but yeah, you might be right too. Like it might have been a makeup smear or something.
Yeah,
smear or something.
Mouth was bleeding a little bit, maybe.
Just seeing a close up of it, it looks like her tooth is still there, but like it's staying, like fucking probably from Charlotte being stiff as hell with her, probably kicked her dead in the fucking mouth. And got some black off of the bottom of her boot.
Yeah, I mean, like,
yeah, you know what? You're right. It could be that too. It looks like yeah. I thought it might be a veneer that may have fallen out or something, but yeah, I think you're right.
Well, she did the press conference like an hour later, and
she was fine.
Oh, okay.
So like,
yeah,
whatever it was very easy to fix, or it wasn't much of anything.
Yeah. Man, yeah.
You made
it's getting some of that shoe leather on there,
Yeah. Still doesn't change the visual, though. Unfortunately, that visual is forever out there of her looking like a Street Fighter character on the continue screen.
Yeah, but she won, though, so she's like, yeah, I may have looked weird or terrible or whatever, but I whooped your ass. Hey, I want to also bring up.
I did say when Tiffy beats Charlotte ought to raise her hand, and we didn't get that, but Charlotte did give her like the kind of like the nod kind of thing as she was walking away.
Yeah,
so I kind of almost nailed that one.
Yeah, something tells me this feud is not over with yet, though. Like I don't think Charlotte's just gonna move on to the next babyface she doesn't like.
Yeah,
I still think it's possible that Charlotte may get that title. I could see somewhere where there's a rematch or something, or they play on the fact that Tiffy looked so beat up afterwards, but managed to sneak out a victory. And who knows, maybe Charlotte plays mind games with her and baits her into another match. Plays on her emotions or her ego or something. You didn't really win. You got lucky. Do you really feel like a champion? Look at you. Look at that picture of you on the screen. Does that look like a champion? And somehow just suckers Tiffany into saying, all right, fuck it. I'll give you a rematch. Let's do it again. I'll beat you for good this time. And then Charlotte kicks her ass and becomes champion. So you may still get your wish, Wayne, of Charlotte
I know I will.
Struggling to make that belt sit on hips that she ain't got.
The only woman to wear that thong loose, huh? Dude, I brought that joke up at the party, and people were fucking dying. I had like 9 people at my fucking house for WrestleMania. Night 1 was way more people than night 2, but I think it was great. I think hopefully next year I have just about the same amount. I don't know what your WrestleMania setup was like.
Me in my room watching TV, watching it, and then having my computer up, chatting in Discord. I didn't do nothing special this year. I didn't go nowhere, none of that. Next year in New Orleans, however, I'm looking to go to New Orleans for WrestleMania. Whether I actually attend the event, that depends on what the fuck WWE want to charge for them damn tickets.
Yeah.
But if nothing else, I want to be in New Orleans for everything else surrounding WrestleMania.
It's a cool town, I'll tell you that.
And the fact I've never been to New Orleans before either. So that double effect. Anywho, moving on to the main event of night 1. Triple threat match. Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, who was accompanied by Roman's wise man, Paul Heyman. It should not be surprising to anyone that this was by far the best match of the night. Both in terms of match quality and storytelling and all of that.
Everything. Showmanship, everything. From the moment Seth Rollins' music hit.
It cooked.
His entrance was awesome. Roman's entrance was awesome. I mean, Roman's entrance was pretty simple, but it was still like those boards with Yokozuna and Alpha,
with all the Anoa'i family.
That shit was cool. Living Color, called In Living Color, which of course is something different. That was awesome.
Yeah, even the moment of Roman like looking to the side where normally Paul would be and no one was there.
Oh yeah,
little subtle moments like that.
When he didn't know what to do with the Ulafala.
Yeah. Not Roman, but Seth kind of playing off two people's different entrances with the flamethrower, which was previously done by The Rock, and then takes off that outfit, has the all white underneath, the light shining on him like he's glowing. You could almost say that was a play on Shawn's theme, but he still found a way to make it his own. It was across the board, yeah. Great entrances, and then obviously once the match started, they just started going to fucking town on each other.
Yeah.
And then we get to the climax, to the final act, where
God,
everybody's laid out. You see Paul, they cut to Paul Heyman, and you're like, okay, now it's time for this part of the story. What's about to happen? You see Paul Heyman go, grab a chair, head to the ring, look at everybody. Punk is to his left, Roman's to his right. And he slides that chair over to CM Punk, and everybody's like, oh shit, he dissed Roman. He's going with Punk. Gets in the ring, tells Punk to lay his ass out, and booyah to the nuts on CM Punk. Dropped his ass.
God.
Now, at that point, did you think that's how it was going to end? Did you think he was going to choose Punk, and that would be it?
I mean, like...
Oh, yeah, I had him leaving with Seth from the get.
Yeah. I mean, it makes so much sense. I mean, we talked about how Punk and Roman are just a little bit higher of a tier of a level of a superstar than Seth is, and Seth, to get to that level, he needs Paul Heyman. And, Seth doesn't need Paul. Roman doesn't need Paul right now. Seth could use Paul.
Mm-hmm.
I
think I was the only one that did not. I don't think I picked him rolling with Seth. I think I chose him walking out with nobody. I was the only one that had him just abandoning everybody. I still had Seth picking up the win, but not because of Paul Heyman, which obviously after he nutshotted Punk, everybody thought, oh shit, he didn't choose Seth. He's going back to Roman. Gives Roman the chair. Roman thinks he's about to lay him out. And then Paul nutshots his ass and gives it a little jiggle for extra effect. Really rubs it in.
You're kind of glossing over what I think is a key detail. Is that it pained him to nutshot CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, you made me choose. Why did you do this? But he took delight in punching Roman in the balls.
Yeah.
The difference is kind of was I thought pretty important to point out. Like he did. I don't think he there was still kind of that tinge of this is still my quote unquote best friend Phil, but he enjoyed. And remember, fucking Roman laid his ass out. Maybe more than once. I might be wrong about that. But he left him, after WrestleMania 40, he left him for dead with Solo. Like, he hasn't been the nicest to Heyman, and he remembers that, I think.
Yeah, that's a very good point to bring up. That he did seem pained by the fact that he had to do it, that he did it to Seth. But when he did it to Roman, it very much, there was vengeance in his eyes when he did it. Like I said, he rubbed it in on Roman.
Mm-hmm.
And then just very calmly handed that chair to Seth and let Seth crack Roman again in the back for the 40th time. And then stomp him out for the win.
I mean, the fucking match was fantastic. You were right, Dre. Match of the night. Storytelling is all there. The fucking video package they gave Punk before he came out, I fucking loved it because we got to see Punk get his main event. We got to see him come out with Paul Heyman. And then we got to see a fucking complete shocker. We saw, we saw a year removed. Within the last 2 years, Roman lost everything. He's lost his tribe. He's lost his wise man. He lost everything, and fucking Seth, man, just he's taking it all. He's done this before in a triple threat match at WrestleMania and pinning Roman again, where he pinned Roman before. He pinned him again at Mania. I thought it was fantastic. I'm so excited because, we'll talk about it after. But, where Seth is going with this.
Yeah. I mean, as we've all said in the previous episode, that, Seth needed this win more than the others because he's, how some people say the old saying, somebody's top 5 and they're not number 5. Seth Rollins is top 5, and he absolutely was number 5. Behind Cody, behind Cena, behind Punk, behind Roman. Seth Rollins is solid 5. And he needed something to break out of being number 5 and hopefully move him further up, or at least to where he can be at least on par, if not past one of them, if not be a 3 or a 2, at least be a 2A or a 3B or something of that nature. And this move with Paul Heyman hopefully can be that, which we might as well go ahead and talk about because Monday they came out, Paul Heyman and Seth, with the acknowledgement of him saying, which I don't know if it landed the way they thought it would, but Paul Heyman trying to say the undisputed number 1 guy in WWE, Seth freaking Rollins. If you gotta say it all the time, it ain't really gonna. I don't know that's really gonna land. But nevertheless, Punk came out, wanted to smoke. Punk got his ass dropped. Then Roman came out. He wanted to smoke. He got the better of Seth. Laid out Paul Heyman with a Superman punch.
Yep.
Went for the spear. Caught one of his own. By who? Braun motherfucking Breaker. Who apparently has now sided with Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. Which is obviously very intriguing, and these two could very much go on a dominant run with them two. Some people are already trying to ship another person into it. Let's not do that already. This is still brand new. Let's see how this works with them 3 first before you try to add more people to it. Let this dwell on what we got.
I think you're certainly leading up to a Seth Braun versus
Roman and Punk.
Bill and Roman match at Backlash. I would think.
Yeah.
Certainly. That seems to be the direction that they're going. As far as getting back to my point about Rollins moving up, this move can potentially do that as long as Paul Heyman doesn't outshine Seth Rollins. And I can't rule out that possibility.
Okay.
Because Paul Heyman is clearly going to be the main mic guy. Obviously, Seth Rollins can cook on the mic and will get his words in too. But for this to work, it clearly has to be seen as Seth Rollins is the leader of this group and Paul Heyman is subservient to him. Because if this if this is being something like a Dangerous Alliance Part 2 or whatever they want to be, then it's clearly going to be seen as Paul Heyman's thing. And Seth Rollins is just his chosen guy.
I think Paul Heyman's probably going to end up being more of a mouthpiece for Braun Breaker and let Seth do his own thing in terms of mic work anyway.
Right.
Yeah,
Braun Breaker could absolutely use a mouthpiece, I think. And none better than Paul Heyman, of course. Seth obviously does not need that. So hopefully they can find a balance where Paul Heyman's maybe doing speaking for Braun Breaker, but not for Seth.
Yeah, and I think that would be the right decision to go as far as that. Paul can maybe set up Seth, and then Seth does most of the talking. And while also, they're both kind of
stands in the back and barks.
Right, and they're both kind of collectively building up, Braun Breaker. Like Seth is acting like a mentor. Paul's acting like a coach to him. They help him get his IC title back at some point, maybe. Well, yeah. I mean, he's probably solidly back in the heel category now, despite the fact that he was getting over as fuck as a face. This may clearly put him back in heel territory.
Yeah, I mean, I think the ultimate. I mean, beyond. The elevation of Seth Rollins is not a huge leap. It's going from fourth on the depth chart to second. Braun Breaker is the one who is going to get made out of all of this. Hopefully, anyway. I assume that's like the overall main goal or whatever. Sure, you can turn Seth up a couple clicks, but if you can get Braun Breaker into a legit threat at the world title, for the next decade, I think that's probably the ultimate play here.
Yeah. The long-term goal of it, kind of how Evolution was with Triple H and Randy Orton and Batista.
He's Batista and Randy.
Yeah, I wonder if we're gonna get any other people to join this little stable. I would assume so. At least another person, if not two.
I think it depends. Right now, I don't think it's necessary. I think those two alone can handle pretty much anybody on the fucking roster. I don't know if there's necessarily a need for it unless.
Well, they're going to need to put somebody in a War Games cage in November.
Yeah. Maybe when you get around War Games, maybe by that point, there may be a need to have added more members.
Yeah.
But right now, I think just the two of them and Paul Heyman is enough to carry the storyline forward for at least a few months.
We got a couple other heel wrestlers who aren't doing stuff. We got a returning Rusev, who's not doing nothing. Big heel. We have a.
He just got back. He don't need to be in the faction already.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? I mean, that'd be some muscle right there. He's cut.
Some muscle like Braun Breaker ain't already muscle.
Yeah, more the better, my friend. Fucking night one. That's night one. Jeez.
I've seen some people try to shop like Austin Theory into the group, and I'm like, nah.
No.
It would help Austin Theory for certain.
Oh yeah.
Like no question about it. It would damn sure help him. I just don't think it's necessary. Not yet. A couple of months from now, maybe, if there's somebody
beating John Cena at WrestleMania was going to help Austin Theory.
Well, yeah, standing on his own.
Helping him. Huh.
Yeah, standing on his own, nah. But if he can get linked up with this faction, it might. I wouldn't rule it out. But again, it doesn't need to happen till further down the line.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hell, look what Judgment Day did for Damian Priest and arguably Rhea Ripley. Yeah, it definitely helped take them two to the next level.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, I love a good stable. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm. This question is, what would they call it if they call it anything? At first, I thought Dangerous Alliance would be a good name for it, but to me, that puts the focus a little too much on Paul Heyman.
Right.
And I don't think that's where it should be. Mm-hmm. But if that's the direction that they want to go with it, that this is the mastermind of Paul Heyman, then Dangerous Alliance would be a damn good nostalgia kick. But we shall see, presumably, next week, when eventually, presumably, all three of these fuckers come out.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on night one of WrestleMania?
No, man. I think the highlights, I guess I think the highlights for me, obviously the shocker of Jay winning the title, Jacob Fatu leaving with the title. We had two Usos leaving with titles that night. Grande Americano, I loved it. I love seeing Tiffany Stratton. And yeah, the main event, dude. Like, for night one, it was a good start. I was pretty excited going into night two then.
Speaking of Fatu's, why the hell did Haku come out when Jacob Fatu won?
Yeah, it was a little weird.
Like, that was weird, right? Why not his father or Rikishi or something? Why did Rikishi come out when Jay won?
It would have been nice to see if Rikishi come out for Jay, at some point.
You can't even get a camera on him.
If I'm not mistaken, isn't Haku like Jacob Fatu's like adopted father or something like that?
His father is Sam Fatu, who was the Tonga kid. Mm-hmm. He's Rikishi's brother. I don't think Haku was related to. I think he's like on the other side of the family tree. It just seemed odd when it's not like his father is not with us anymore. He certainly is. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought they had some sort of connection.
They do, but it's not like his father and his uncle are available, and this is like a third cousin twice removed or something.
That could be it. I mean, yeah. Maybe he just got. Maybe they just cool. They tight like that.
Yeah, I mean, cool. Yeah, good, cool. I'm not. I mean, it's never a bad time to see Haku. I'm not complaining.
Yeah, I mean, like I know Haku is like the father of, I don't know, blood father or adopted father of Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa.
Yeah,
I know for them he is. I don't know. I thought again, I could be wrong. I thought he had some other connection to Jacob Fatu as well, but
well,
either way, he jumped that damn rail, and you saw it. Did not one motherfucker get between him and Fatu. Mm-hmm. Not one security person was like, "Hey, man, you ain't supposed to." And won't nobody brave enough to try to get in the way of Haku. If you know, you know.
All right, guys, let's take a little break here from night one. I'm gonna hit the break button. We will be back. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to this little promo. I have to give one. You know what it's going to be about. Yeah, just sit here and listen. You made it this far into the show. What we're going to talk about is something very important. It's social media. Why aren't you part of the Twitter page, the Instagram page, our Facebook page? Join, share, and you know what? You get in there, we'll send you a link to the Discord. What's the Discord? It's where you can talk to us all day about wrestling. Not just that, How about you go to our website, podcastchampionshipwrestling1podium.com, where you can leave a review. Not just a review, you can write into the show. You got a question? We'll answer it. But it doesn't stop there. Oh no, it doesn't. We offer so much more. Do you want to be on the show? Do you want to shoot the shit with Dre, Doyle, and myself? Be a guest. I'll give you your own theme music. Yes, I will. But it doesn't stop there, guys. You gotta go to ProWrestlingTees.com and buy a PCW shirt. Oh, we don't have one. We don't have two. By God, we don't have three. But we do have four. 4 new t-shirts on ProWrestlingTees.com. So what the hell are you doing? You made it this far. Are you a fan or what? Are you a fucking mark? Tell him.
You fucking mark!
Time's running out. All right, we are back. And we had a little discussion off air, and I think we are going to let this episode marinate. Meaning, we're going to release this episode of Night 1, and where we discussed a little bit of NXT and a little bit of the Hall of Fame. We're going to release that, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to drop the second episode, but we're also going to talk about the Raw after Mania. We're going to also cover the SmackDown after Mania, which has not happened yet. But when we get to it, it'll be pretty good, I bet. I'm expecting something with John Cena again. I'm expecting... Oh, you know what? I guess I can't give too many spoilers, right? But, Dre, do you want to plug anything before we go?
Nothing in particular. Obviously, the Instagram.com/PCW podcast, and always find me in the Discord, where we'll be talking, at least this Friday, we'll be talking about the match that should have been on the WrestleMania card, and that being this TLC tag title match, which I'm definitely looking forward to seeing.
Yeah. Doyle, you got anything?
Oh, yeah, just, in the Discord, and give the Facebook page a like, and Steve Mongo McMichael has died, apparently, so R.I.P. to him. I fucking hate the 85 Bears. Yes, I'm still salty about a football game that happened 40 years ago, but I had a friend die of ALS. It's fucking awful. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. So R.I.P. Mongo.
Yeah, definitely R.I.P. to Mongo McMichael. Didn't know much of him as a football player. Obviously, I know he was a Chicago Bear. Most wrestling fans will know him from his days as a member of the Four Horsemen in the late 90s on WCW during the Monday Night Wars, which he was a capable wrestler. He was definitely a capable wrestler, and like I said, anybody who was familiar with the time of the Monday Night Wars will remember him. So,
major player in those, yeah.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Mongo McMichael.
Yes, rest in peace, Mongo. And we will see you guys next episode. And to play us out and to cleanse the palate, please, if you will, Booker T.
Here we go, baby. One more time.
You are the world's dumbest son of a bitch.
The fact that day in and day out for almost 6 years I have proved to everybody in the world that I am the best on this microphone, in that ring, even at commentary. Nobody can touch me.
You are not ready for Oscar!
Because the Street Profits are up and we want the smoke.
You're next!
Talk about your Psalms, talk about John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says I just whipped your ass.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. New day!
The cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah, Macho Madness here.
Welcome to the Kevin Owens Show. Lately, he just hasn't been very oozy.
Because I'm the Miz, and I'm awesome! Those rotten bastards!
Bye-bye, bitch.